Hello everyone, another new opportunity for learning. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to our Institution of Global Professionals Creative Dinner. And thank you all for joining with us right now. And please stay with us till the end. So, dear lovely audience, I'm your host, Nasrin Isha from Bangladesh for this morning session. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to be associated with IGP as a global member. I feel honored and privileged to host this webinar. It's my delight to welcome you all to our Institution of Global Professionals free webinar. So thank you all for joining us today in this marvelous moment. And it's my humble request to everyone and pleasure to all of you stay with us till the end. And I'm sure you all have many takeaways and payouts from this webinar. And each time you can like and comment in our webinar. So don't forget to tag, share, and mention your friends in our comments. So let's learn together and grow together because we believe that power is gained by sharing knowledge, not holding it. So, dear audience, once again, I'm Nasrin from Bangladesh, member in IGP. Welcome you all. Okay. So, dear audience, don't forget to tag, share, and mention your friends in our comments. And please give a thumbs up to our Facebook official page. And don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel. And you can also share these in your timeline. Also, you can share this LinkedIn, you can share this in Instagram and Twitter. So, dear audience, let's allow me to give you a concept about IT because every day we have new participants join from different time zones and processes for them, giving a little concept about IT. So, Institution of Global Professionals serves student and community resource, providing holistic social work and education for creative and efficient generation. ISGP is a leading online skill development institute with thousands of learners worldwide. We make it get it able to use for every knowledge seeker to originate personality, more ambitious, make confident to face any circumstance and develop new skills. We are entrusted with international recognition. Institute of Global Professionals is an educational institution provides social work. We believe that it's not effective to increase one's skills just by acquiring formal education. So we provide effective training and consultation to generate proficient generation all over the world. We organized our webinar, training, offline, online courses, etc. Best and French speakers and teachers from all over the world to create a best learning platform for all. And our mission is to empower people and advance. And my dear lovely audience, we have already successfully completed our 574 webinar. And today I'm presenting topic webinar number 575. And the topic is reading comprehension strategies. So we will learn so many things today from this webinar. So I'm requesting everyone, don't forget to share, tag, and mention with your friends in our platforms. So let's start our program with IGP's mantra, that is feed your skill. Okay, dear audience, let's welcome our wonderful speaker from Philippines, Ma'am Hazel May Philippines. So welcome.
Hello,
Welcome.
ma'am. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am. How are you, ma'am?
I'm fine, ma'am. Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, please share your partner's name.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. All right, ma'am. Do you see my video, ma'am? Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you see my video presentation?
No, ma'am. Not yet.
Okay, for a while, ma'am.
Basically, okay, ma'am. May I help you to share it, ma'am?
Okay, do you see that?
Ma'am, can you see the share option?
Yeah, this one.
Click it two times, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, then you can see the window option.
Yes, ma'am. So,
Okay.
so do you see
Yes,
my?
please.
Okay,
Yes,
do you
ma'am.
see already? Do you see already my video, ma'am?
Make it fully screen, ma'am. Make it
Do you
fully
see
screen,
already,
ma'am.
ma'am?
Can you see the reading view option?
Will I start, ma'am, my presentation?
Yes. But before, make it fully screen, ma'am. Can you see the reading view option in the bottom?
Uh, will I stop sharing?
No, no.
This one, do you see my presentation?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I can see.
So, can I start?
Yes, ma'am. Sure.
Okay. But before that, ma'am, good afternoon, everyone. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Mom Hazel May E. Baligan, a master teacher two of City East Elementary School, SDO Tagbilaran City, Bohol, Philippines. I'm a grade one teacher, and it's my honor and pleasure to share with you my topic this afternoon on reading comprehension strategies. Are you ready? Can I start, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I start already?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, my fellow IGP participants, good afternoon. I'm very glad that we meet again another session on reading comprehension strategies. So, to start with, I would like to ask everyone, why do we read? Is it important to read? What extent that reading is very important? What extent that reading is very significant in our daily lives? Reading comprehension strategies are said to be crucial in helping students stay engaged in what they are learning and actively think about what they are reading. So, I would like to request the participants to please type your country. Do you come from? Yes, type, and comment your country before I will proceed to the next topic. All right, thank you so much. Indeed, reading comprehension really play pivotal role for our students to actively think about what they are reading. Furthermore, reading is in fact a highly strategic and interactive process. Ultimately, we are reading in order to understand what we read. Yes, it is said interactive because it is across learning areas. It could be to different strategies in different subjects. It is not only in English, it is not only in Filipino, but across learning areas. What is reading comprehension then? Comprehension is the process of comprehending text, whether spoken, written, or visual. Understanding is an active and complex process that includes extracting and constructing meaning from text at the same time, allowing readers to derive meaning from text through intentional problem solving and thinking processes. Inferring meaning from text by applying social, cultural, and intellectual layers. I would like to stress out to underscore the word problem solving and thinking processes. So, comprehension allow our learners or our readers to think critically, to be critical thinkers and problem solvers in daily lives. Therefore, teaching comprehension from the beginning of school is an important component of any literacy program because it teaches students, the learners, that reading is more than just making sounds and relaying information. Moreover, as a result, reading fluently requires less cognitive bandwidth for word identification. Instead, that cognitive energy can be directed toward meaning. Although fluency allows for strong reading comprehension, it does not guarantee that students will understand what they read. Do you agree? Please type in the comment section, if you agree that fluency allows for strong reading comprehension, but it does not guarantee that students, our learners, will understand what they read. Thank you so much for your cooperation. What exactly is reading comprehension is? Reading comprehension would be defined as the ability to understand and interpret what you read. Reading becomes a lifelong tool for learning when you have strong reading comprehension. The development of this skill is closely linked to the development of other literacy instructional strands. For example, phonological awareness skills and phonics skills support our learners' ability to decode what words and eventually recognize a large bank of words with automaticity. This enables reading fluency. What are some reading comprehension strategies then? Can you give one of the reading comprehension strategies that you know? If you apply or implement such reading comprehension strategies, please type in the comment section only one reading comprehension strategies that you implement or you would like to learn to foster the love and culture of reading and understanding and decoding text and information. Thank you so much. When reading, it can be highly beneficial to leverage prior information to help you make sense of the entire text, thereby providing a framework for the material. This is an important reading comprehension method. Be aware of what you know and don't know. Again, be aware of what you know and don't know. Next, studies have shown that students who visualize while reading have better recall than those who do not, according to Presley 1977. Readers can take advantage of illustrations that are embedded in the text or create their own mental images or drawings when reading text without illustrations. This is called monitoring comprehension strategy. Moreover, monitoring comprehension strategy, simply put, monitoring the process of assessing your comprehension of something as you read it. It necessitates paying attention to your own thoughts as you read a text. Yes, this, like all of our reading strategies, requires students to practice metacognition and thinking about thinking. Moreover, monitoring comprehension strategy encourages our learners, our students, to read with partners, to ask each other questions, and to draw and write about what they've read. This encourages the students to reflect on the reading and their comprehension of it. In addition, make sure to expose them to a variety of genre, both fiction and non-fiction. With enough practice, our students will be able to use this strategy on our own or their own and automatically every time they read. Then, it allows them to adjust their approach to a text as needed, preventing them from mindless scanning through it without understanding what they've read. A student who employs this strategy is an engaged student who is aware of their current level of understanding and has the ability to respond appropriately. What are some reading comprehension strategies? We understand that there is no such one size fits all. Really? Yes? So, therefore, there are various strategies that we could implement as teachers, as facilitators of learning to our students, and one of which is making predictions. While we've always been warned not to judge a book by its cover, making predictions about a text might assist and create expectations for what's to come when it comes to reading comprehension techniques. As the reader progresses, these predictions may change. Another one is visualization comprehension strategy. And then, when you hear the word visualization, what comes to your mind? Yes, exactly. Visualization is a process of creating mental images in order to extract meaning from a text. Students who engage in visualization will form mental images of what they have read as they read it. Then another one, reading strategies, is direct modeling. What is direct modeling then? Direct modeling is the most effective way to teach this strategy to your students. Begin by reading a familiar story aloud. So, in our classroom, because I'm a grade 1 teacher, I am used to share the read aloud story to students. And I'm fond of having the explicit way of teaching. That is I do, we do, and you do strategy. And this has something to do with direct modeling. So with the use of the read alouds, the teacher will demonstrate properly the book orientation approach, introducing the title, the characters of the story per se, and then she models on how to perform and do such reading activity to children. So therefore, direct modeling is one of the most effective way in teaching reading for comprehension. Then for that, activating prior knowledge for comprehension strategy. What is activating prior knowledge comprehension strategy? This uh, refers to comprehension strategy that encourages students to draw parallels between what they read and their own experiences. The students' reading becomes more personal as a result of this process. So, in activating prior knowledge, of course, you're going to allow students and learners to share their personal experiences, their background, their stock knowledge, their experiences in such situations. You're going to allow them share even in their own daily life experiences from their home, their community, and in school. So it builds, it boosts self esteem, confidence, grit to children and to students. Not only it develops the comprehension, but it develops the self confidence, the believing of oneself that the children and the students can perform and develop literacy in their own little ways. Prior knowledge is knowledge that students already have. It is the students' contribution to the reading. The more prior knowledge they have in any given subject, the better they will understand what they read. So, prior knowledge means this refers to stock knowledge, right? So, the vocabulary of the children from the kindergarten to grade 6 to high school, secondary, and to tertiary and even college. So, bit by bit, those stock knowledge can really contribute to the comprehension and vocabulary building of the children and students. Students will begin to build a scaffold on which to hang new ideas and concepts as they learn to make connections between what they read and their own lives. So, meaning when say scaffolding, it refers to simple to complex process, the explicit way of teaching, the I do, we do, and you do. In short, that is GRR. What is GRR? The gradual release of responsibility among children and students. Moreover, activating prior knowledge comprehension strategy, it is a metacognitive skill as well as a skill that is reliant on the student's own knowledge and experience. So therefore, the experiences of the children, of the students, really lead to the best practices and to the best learning of their lives. Another reading comprehension strategies, one of which is questioning comprehension strategy. This comprehension strategy encourages students to think critically about what they read and aids in the development of students' own sense of curiosity. Like students ask themselves questions about a text to kickstart their exploration of the text in pursuit of understanding, just as we ask our students questions to stimulate their thinking. Questioning ensures that students engage closely with a text, transforming reading into a fulfilling pursuit. Another one is inferring comprehension strategy. Using this strategy necessitates the student becoming a textual detective. It assists students in comprehending information that is not explicitly stated in the text. This is what we mean when we tell students to read between the lines. Yes, we usually hear that from our teachers, from our facilitators. Read between the lines, meaning we are allowing children and students infer to comprehend text or reading passages. In order to figure out the meaning behind the text, the student must look for clues. This requires the student to think critically and pushes the student to a higher level of comprehension. So, in vernacular, because I'm in the Philippines, comprehension in Bisaya is pagsabot, ang pagpanabot sa usa ka tawo, comprehending of one individual of what is she or he is reading. Pagpanabot, ang comprehension, no? Ang pagsabot, and that's it. Next, as with previous strategies, learning to use inferring as a comprehension strategy begins with the teacher modeling. Choose a section of suitable text. Display the text on a whiteboard or give students copies of it and read aloud with students. At appropriate points in the text, pause and ask the students what they think is really going on. Then teachers should then provide their answer, modeling for the students as they do so which clues in the text led them to their conclusion. And most of the time, the teachers in the lower grades really model and allow the children to answer in complete answer because eventually, the children will learn to give their answers concrete and complete answer in complete sentences. Some useful prompts for encouraging inferences. These are the following. What's really going on here? How do you think the character feels? Why do you think that happened? How do you know that? What clues led you to that conclusion? So, meaning in this moment, we are fostering the higher order thinking skills to children. The hearts, the question of why, how, to let them to be critical thinkers and problem solvers along the way. Another reading comprehension strategy is summarizing comprehension strategy. All right, IGP learners, please type summarizing comprehension strategy so that I will know that you are still alive, kicking, and always eager to learn for the next topic or next session. So, summarizing comprehension strategy. So, when you hear the word summarizing comprehension strategy, what comes to your mind? Yes, indeed. Summarizing is when students retell a story or information from a text in their own words. To succeed, they must be able to extract the main points of the text and express them in their own words. To effectively summarize, the student, the learner must express the gist of the text. This necessitates identifying the key ideas and consolidating the most important textual elements that support these ideas. So, usually, when we introduce story to our students, we are going to test and assess their learning. After all, did they understand the story? Did they listen very well to the story listened to or they have heard a while ago? And then you're going to let them retell. And there are many ways to retell the story. You're going to let them draw and tell. Oh, that's one of the strategy. So you're going especially to the lower, to the learners, very small kids, like the kindergarten, the grades 1 to 3, and most of them do not still know how to spell. So they're going, the teacher allowed to draw, to let them draw and express and let them retell the story. And then usually the teacher allowed the children to draw the, the very important events in the story from the beginning, middle, then to the ending of the story. Then another reading comprehension strategy is determining importance comprehension strategy. Students must learn a sorting process if they are to successfully navigate their way through the ocean of words that awaits them. They'll have to learn to prioritize the information they come across while reading. Students use the determining importance reading comprehension strategy to look for clues in the text to help them sort the text bits of information into a hierarchy of relative information. Moreover, determining significance necessitates that students pay close attention to all aspects of the text. They must scrutinize everything from the headings and bullets points to the language used in the text down to the word level. Another which is the ask and answer question reading comprehension strategy. We must continually ask ourselves questions in order to succeed in life. Do you agree? Please type in the comment section. We must continually ask ourselves questions in order to succeed in life. Both asking and answering questions might assist us in focusing on the significance of a text. Visualize the settings and concentrate on structure. Even if illustrations such as photos, graphs, or charts do not exist, they can assist readers build their own mental images while reading. And this is what you call the metacognition, the metacognitive skill of the children or the students. Then another reading comprehension strategy is making a story map. If you are a teacher, an IGP participant, have you experienced, implement, or utilize a story map as one of the reading comprehension strategies in your classroom? If so, please share what are your experiences in using a story map. In what extent that the children, that the students learn best in reading a story. Okay, thank you so much. And this is an example of a story map. You're going to allow the children to draw, to visualize the events of a story being heard or listened to from the beginning, middle, and end of the story. So anything goes that the children and student perceived in their minds from the story heard So allow them to draw because children are also kinesthetic in their own little ways. Not only we are developing their literacy skills, but we are also developing their kinesthetic potentials among students. Then, this is the story map, setting, characters, beginning, middle, and end. See, and you're going to appreciate their work because their work are such a blessing. Then, this is it. Another one is make use of hints and read between the lines. So one of the reading comprehension strategy. Readers can use clues such as the story's title to make predictions about the text and make sense of what they have read. A read aloud story to share, like grade 1 teachers do, used to implement this from the explicit way of teaching, the I do, we do, and you do. Allow the children share the experiences, and you're going to motivate them, give the motive questions, unlock difficult words, and then give hard questions to motivate the children into reading such reading story like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. So Goldilocks and the Three Bears was originally titled The Story of the Three Bears, published in the collection English Fairy Tales, retold by Flora Annie Steele, 1920-22, illustrated by Arthur Rackham. So this is a story from the Goldilocks and the Three Bears. So allow me to read this passage, and I would like to ask from you, and you're going to type in the comment section what possibly reading comprehension strategy you are going to imply upon reading this passage. Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Goldilocks, a young golden haired girl, is out walking in the forest when she comes upon a house. Who is the young golden haired girl who is walking in the forest when she comes upon a house? Yes, it's Goldilocks. She knocks at the door, but nobody answers. What does Goldilocks do? She knocks at the door, but nobody answers. But instead of minding her own business and walking off, she decides to open the door and walk in. What does the young golden haired girl do? Even she knocks at the door that nobody answers, she still decides to open the door and walk in. This is the first time that Goldilocks is in trouble. Is she incredibly nosy, or does she simply have no concept of personal property? Once upon a time, there were three bears who lived together in a house of their own in a wood. One of them was a little wee bear, and one was a middle sized bear, and the other was a great big bear. They had each of a bowl for their porridge, a little bowl for the little wee bear, and a middle sized bowl for the middle sized bear, and a great bowl for the great big bear. And they had each a chair to sit in, a little chair for the little wee bear, and a middle sized chair for the middle sized bear, and a great chair for the great big bear. And they had each a bed to sleep in, a little bed for the little wee bear, and a middle sized bed for the middle sized bear, and a great bed for the great big bear. So out of this passage, what is possible? What reading comprehension strategy possibly we could imply to the students? Yes, it could be inference, reading comprehension strategy, or can have a story map strategy. Yes, correct. One day, allow me to read more of this story. One day, after they had made the porridge for their breakfast and poured it into their porridge bowls, they walked out into the wood while their porridge was cooling, that they might not burn their mouths by beginning too soon, for they were polite, well brought up bears. And while they were away, a little girl called Goldilocks. Who was the little girl? Yes, Goldilocks, who lived at the other side of the wood and had been sent on an errand by her mother, passed by the house and looked in at the window. And then she peeped in at the keyhole, for she was not at all a well brought up little girl. What did Goldilocks do after passing by the house and looked in at the window? Yes, she peeped in at the keyhole, and for she was not at all a well brought up little girl. Then, seeing nobody in the house, she lifted the latch. The door was not fastened because the bears were good bears who did nobody any harm and never suspected that anybody would harm them. So Goldilocks opened the door. Who opened the door? Yes, it's Goldilocks, and went in. What did Goldilocks do after opening the door? Yes, she went inside the house, and well pleased was she when she saw the porridge on the table. What did Goldilocks see? She saw the porridge on the table. If she had been a well brought up little girl, she would have waited till the bears came home, and then perhaps they would have asked her to break fast. What did she ask from her? A breakfast. For they were good bears, a little rough or so, as the many manner of bears is, but for all that very good natured and hospitable. But she was an impudent, rude little girl, and so she set about helping herself. Who was an impudent, rude, and little girl? It was Goldilocks. And what can you describe about Goldilocks? Yes, Goldilocks was an impudent, rude little girl. First, she tasted the porridge of the great big bear, and that was too hot for her. What did Goldilocks do first? She tasted the porridge of the great big bear. What porridge that she tasted? She tasted the porridge of the great big bear. Do you think it is hot? Yes, that was too hot for her. Next, she tasted the porridge of the middle-sized bear, but that was too cold for her. Was the porridge of the middle-sized bear hot or cold? Yes, it was too cold for her. And then she went to the porridge of the little wee bear and tasted it, and that was neither too hot nor too cold, but just right. And she liked it so well that she ate it all up, every bit. So, how many porridge that Goldilocks tasted? There were three porridge, but she tasted the porridge of the great big bear, the porridge of the middle sized bear, and the porridge of the little wee bear. Very good. Then Goldilocks, who was so tired, for she had been catching butterflies instead of running on her errand, sat down in the chair of the great big bear, but that was too hard for her. And then she sat down in the chair of the middle-sized bear, and what happened? That was too soft for her. And then eventually, she sat down in the chair of the little wee bear, and what happened? That was neither too hard nor too soft, but just right. So she seated herself in it. And there she sat still, the bottom of the chair came out, and down she came plump upon the ground, and that made her very cross, for she was a bad tempered little girl. Now, being determined to rest, Goldilocks went upstairs into the bed chamber in which the three bears slept. And what did Goldilocks feel during that time? After tasting all the porridge of the three bears, she was so determined to rest, and felt so, maybe she felt so lazy enough to went upstairs into the bed chamber in which the three bears slept. And first she lay down upon the bed of the great big bear, but that was too high at the head for her. And next she lay down upon the bed of the middle-sized bear. So where did she lay down after the great big bear? She lay down upon the bed of the middle-sized bear, and that was too high at the foot for her. And then she lay down upon the bed of the little wee bear, and that was neither too high at the head nor at the foot, but just right. So she covered herself up comfortably until there she slept. She fell fast asleep. So that's it. By this time, the three bears thought their porridge would be cool enough for them to eat properly. So they came home to breakfast. Now, careless Goldilocks had left the spoon of the great bear standing in his porridge, because without her knowledge, she left the spoon of the great big bear standing in his porridge. And do you think the great big bear will notice that somebody ate or tasted his porridge pot? Yes, that's it. So, before that, before I will end my session, allow me to say allow me to say that we teacher really play pivotal role in our classrooms. There are so various reading comprehension strategies that we could imply and implement. It is up to us. How could we deliver? How could we facilitate those reading comprehension strategies? Remember, there's no such one size fits all. So we should be flexible enough to share and facilitate to our students. And remember, reading comprehension really takes us to different and various places wherever we'll go, and always ready to face the struggles, the circumstances of life. That's it. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. Gracias. Mabuhay, Philippines. Ma'am Hazel May Baligan, Master Teacher 2 of City East Elementary School. Thank you so much, ma'am, and everyone, IGP learners.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for sharing your presentation with our participants. So, ma'am,
Yes,
we
ma'am.
will come back with you after quiz competition session in our Q session. So, till then, please stay with us, ma'am.
Thank you, Ma'am Nasrin.
Thank, thank you, ma'am. So, dear audience, time for quiz. So, get ready for our next session, that is quiz competition session, and don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friends in our comment box. So, after this short video, we will start it. So, get ready. Right now we have 37 participants. Please share the link with your friends, family, and you can find it the link also in our comment section. Today we will give 10 certificates to our top 10 winners. So please join quickly to get that opportunity. You can also invite your friends to join the quiz by signing to www.slido.com. You can join our quiz with the code quiz ICP, and also you can find the link into our comment section. Okay, right now we have 40 participants. So let's start our quiz. Here is our first question, everyone. Reading comprehension strategies. Option number one, help you become a better reader. Option number two, help you understand what you read. And the right answer is option number one. And 31% of our participants got the correct answer. Here is a leaderboard. We got MSGT Joseph and Fraser Reyes. We have Jeba Benalada. We have Emma F. Garigues. We have Emily M. Recusio. And we have Gloria Carriaga. Here is our next question, everyone. Example of reading comprehension strategies. Option number one, non-visualizing. Option number two, making prediction. Okay, and the right answer is option number two, and 68% of our participants got the correct answer. Here is the leaderboard. We got Gemma Vanalada, we have Jalen Christiana C. Cabatuan, we have Jigne Georgie, we have M.SGD. Joseph and Placeres, we have Ashok Kumar Odikari. Here is our next question. Using reading comprehension strategies helps you. Option number one, read the book faster. Option number two, understand what you are reading. And the correct answer is option number two, and 85% of our participants got the correct answer. Here is our leaderboard. We have Zelen Christiana C. Cabatuan, we have M.SGT. Joseph and Placeres, we have Jigne Dorji, we have Ashok Kumar Odikari, and we have Gloria Carriaga. Here is our next question. Reading comprehension is option number one, reading text and understanding its meaning. Option number two, reading a book to someone. And the correct answer is option number one, and 100% of our participants got the correct answer. Here is our leaderboard. We have M.SGD. Joseph and Placeres. We have Jalen Christiana C. Cabatuan. We have Jigne Georgie. We have Ashok Kumar Adhikari. And in fifth position, we have Gloria Carriaga. And the next question is on and reading strategies to monitor your comprehension except for option number one, asking question. Option number two, speed reading. And the right answer is option number two, and 74% of our participants got the correct answer. Here is the leaderboard. We have Jigne Dorji, we have
Ashok Kumar Adhikari, we have Gloria Carriaga, then we got Albina and Montalvo, we have Napoleon B. Torcalino. And the next question is define reading comprehension. Option number one, skills to help a reader understand what they are reading. Option number two, making connections to what you read. And the correct answer is option number one, and 90% of our participants got the correct answer. And here is our leaderboard. We have Ashok Kumar Odhikari in the first place, then we got Chinmay Dorji, then we have Gloria Carriaga, we have Albina M. Montalvo, then we got Napoleon B. Torcalino. Here is our next question. Which are good strategies to help my child with reading comprehension? Option number one, not looking for clues. Option number two, visualize. And the correct answer is option number two, and 88% of our participants got the correct answer. And in the leaderboard, we got again Ashok Kumar Odhikari, then we got Jitme Dorji, we have Gloria Carriaga, we got Albina and Montalvo, then we have Napoleon B. Torcalino. And our next question is read blank and use reading strategies. Option number one, carefully. Option number two, quickly. And option number one is the right answer, and 98% of our participants got the correct answer. And in the leaderboard, we got again Ashok Kumar Odhikari, then we have Chigme Dorji, then we got Gloria Carriaga, we have Albina and Montalvo, and in the fifth position, we got Napoleon B. Torcalino. Here is our second last question. Another way to save reading comprehension is option number one, knowing what you read. Option number two, understanding what you read. Okay, and the time is running out, and the time is out. So the right answer is option number two, and 93% of our participants got the correct answer. And in the leaderboard, we got again Ashok Kumar Odhikari, we have Jigme Dorji, we have Gloria Carriaga, then we got Albina M. Montalvo, we have Napoleon B. Torcalino. And here is our last question, everyone. When you use the reading comprehension strategy, visualize you. Option number one, write down parts of the story so you can read it. Option number two, see a picture in your head about a part of the story. And the answer is option number two, and 68% of our participants got the correct answer. And here is our final leaderboard. There is our top five winner. We will also see our top 10 winners. Here we got Jeevne Dorji, then we got Napoleon Vitor Calino, we have Ameline Kajubai, we have Ashok Kumar Odhikari. In the fifth position, we got Jalen Christian Sikabachun, we have Mary De Baeta, then we got Leah Pakula, and in eighth position, we got John Kenneth Boyle, we have Ricky R. Kolima, and in the 10th position, we got Gloria Carriaga. So you will get your certificate into our official Facebook page.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Pushpita, for hosting this quiz session. So, my dear lovely audience, once again, congratulations to our top 10 winners. And you knew that you will get your certificates, winner certificates from our Facebook official page. So, dear audience, get ready with your question to ask our honorable speaker in our QA session. So, after this short video, we will start it. So, get ready. everyone. Welcome once again in our QA session. Welcome, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Nasin, Nisha.
How are you, ma'am?
I'm fine. Thank you, ma'am. How about you?
I'm absolutely good to see you, ma'am.
Yes, my pleasure and honor, ma'am.
So, my dear lovely audience, please put your question in our comment box. So, our speaker is waiting for your question to answer it. So I'd like to thank to our volunteer team and Cherry Maguchi for cooperating with our participants. So dear audience, dear participants, dear knowledge seeker, we are still waiting for your question.
Anybody from our IGP learners would like to share their questions? It's my honor and pleasure to answer and share as best as I can. Thank you, Ma'am Nasa and Nisha, for facilitating.
Thank you, ma'am. And we will wait for our participants for the question.
Yes, ma'am.
So, dear audience, today we will post our last previous webinar course to our timeline, Facebook official page. So please don't miss it. Please collect from the page. After the program, we will post it. And I'm requesting to my knowledge seeker, dear participants who are still watching, give your question in our comments. Okay, we got our first question from Ma'am Hera Jaime. Why do you think students struggle with reading comprehension?
Ma'am, thank you, Ma'am Hera Jamie, for your question. Why do you think students struggle with reading comprehension? Yes, indeed, students really struggle with reading comprehension because at first they lack with reading strategies that they acquire when they are students from their classroom teacher. Because it really needs to take patience to teach literacy, and it should be noted that the 14 domains of literacy must be considered towards reading comprehension. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Ma'am Era Jamie, for the question. I hope I answer your question. I would like to add on, Mom, the answer for Mom Hera Jamie.
Sure.
Uh, Mom Hera Jamie, one of the reasons that students really struggle, why? Because even themselves, they do not know how to find time in reading various books, even at their home. They do not have the experience in inculcating their minds to foster the love of reading. So the students must foster first the love of reading before they can comprehend what they read. That's it.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Welcome,
Okay,
ma'am.
we have our next question. Okay, from Ma'am Evelyn Waperi, what strategy might be given to learners with difficulty in phonemic blending and phonemic substitution? Thank you.
Thank you, Mom Evelyn P. Waperi, for the question. What strategy might be given to learners with difficulty to phonemic blending and phonemic substitution? Yes, it should be start with the the strategy of teaching the letter name and the letter sound first before the phonemic awareness, because we all know the phonemic will start first before the word decoding towards the comprehension of the children. So there should be a mastery of the letter names, the letter sounds, then the phonemic awareness. That's it.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Jim. Most welcome, IGP.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for sharing your presentation, valuable presentation with our participants. And really, we have learned so many things in this webinar.
My pleasure and honor, ma'am.
And please share some last words with our participants.
Yes, thank you so much. So I would like to thank the Institute of Global Professionals who is giving me this great opportunity to share this session to you, my IGP learners. And I'm looking forward that for the next session, towards the next session, for the next maybe next week or month, perhaps, I could share another topics for you, another adventure, another learning. And let us do not forget that we have to be grateful enough for the IGP or Institute of Global Professionals in molding us and giving this great opportunity. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And I would like to thank also my SDO Tagbilaran City Schools Division, my school, City East Elementary School, with my school principal, Ma'am Clementina A. Gamil, and my colleagues for giving me this opportunity despite our limited face-to-face classes. Muchas gracias. Maraming salamat po. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And we are very honored to have you here, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, IGP.
So, dear participants, today's certification process is program name is Reading Comprehension Strategies, and the code is IGP 3872. Let me tell you again, the code is IGP 3872, and without code, no one is eligible to get the certificates, and with code, you can claim your certificates anytime. So you can also visit our website. Our website address is www.eduigp.com. So collect your certificates and don't forget to celebrate with IGP. And let me announce, we will post all the previous webinar code in our Facebook official page after the program, after 15 minutes later. So please collect it and don't miss it. So, my dear lovely audience, thank you for participating. Thank you for your cooperation, and we are and I'm inviting to our next webinar in the evening session. So don't miss it. Stay with us. Stay with IGP, and invite your friends, family members, and colleagues too. So still then, stay happy, stay healthy wherever you are. And I'm Nasrin signing off right now. Have a good day to all of you.